This is an interview from so-called renegade and suppressed Australian patriot figure Blair Cottrell. Now, this guy often features on mainstream news, in anti-Islamic debates, and has founded a lot of right-wing groups throughout Australia. And I saw this comment and I found it really sus. This guy's an undercover cop. How did some no-name get to interview a prison inmate? And you must remember, this interview was before Blair Cottrell shot to fame, before he was a renowned patriot figure, which makes it even more suspect. Also, his story about why he is allegedly in jail. If you listen to it, he's clutching at straws a lot and scratching his neck and appears to be losing train of thought and making it up on the spot. I will now play the interview so you can decide for yourself.
It was his fault and he needed to disappear. When she cut me off, it was probably around mid-year. That's when everything got really bad. I started obsessing about this guy, and I would
Attention Portfield Prison. All inmates return to your unit. Count 10 minutes. Say again. All inmates return to your unit. Count in 10 minutes.
I used to walk past this guy's house like 10 times a night, up down his street, just watching it, waiting for him to come out of it, and he never did. And I would leave him messages telling him to stand up to me, and he never replied. And when I never got a reply from him, I started carrying knives and like hatchet. I had my hatchet I had like a little tomahawk. It was a different one from what I had in my car. I had this little tomahawk that I used to wear and put inside my jacket. And in the middle of the night, like 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, I would go out the front of his house and like just hover around, and they always used to stay up really late and smoke bongs, and the lights would always be on. So I would sleep behind this little white picket fence across from his house and look through the cracks at his house, and as soon as like the door would open, my heart would skip and I'd stand up and be holding a knife because I'd be ready to go out there and like kill him because I was pretty determined. And there was one time when he did come out his front door, and I jumped out from behind this fence with a tomahawk in my hand, and he ran away. So I put the tomahawk back in my jacket and I chased him, screaming out.
Now, does it make sense if you are preparing to attack someone with a tomahawk, you would be wide awake, filled with adrenaline and suspense? Does it really make sense that you would be falling asleep in someone's backyard before being awoken to a door opening and ready to attack them? It also appears to be not even just a regular interview, almost a documentary-styled interview with different camera angles and whatnot. And keep in mind, this guy's just a nobody. So it's interesting that after he shot to fame, this interview is leaked. But I'm not exposing like this guy's right-wing politics. That's a farce in itself. But just where these guys actually hail from in the first place. He does a lot of interviews or lectures where he's scribbling on a whiteboard, and he seems to have a very military type style and extremely educated language as well. So just some food for thought about the true origins of Blair Cottrell, and I believe him to just be a scripted character and useful idiot that was handed an assignment, and over time he's probably started to believe the nonsense that he's saying. and just in many ways left in the dark about it. Often appearing on mainstream news in anti-Islamic debates under this guise of suppressing when it's actually just giving him further exposure.